Good evening to everybody. Another day. Nice to talk to you guys. How's everybody doing? I will wait for some people to join in so we can start, and I will wait for some people to jump in here. How's everybody doing? I will wait to jump in here and we can start our live feed. Share this live video if uh, if you get the chance. Would like to say hi to everybody. If you can share this live video. God bless every single one of you. We are live right now, broadcasting from the city, the beautiful city, the finest city of El Paso, Texas. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. How's everybody doing? God bless my country of Mexico, my city of Tijuana. And God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. God blessings to everybody. Man, today I had a really good day. And it's not because what we broadcast and how we confronted the United Nations officials. And it was not a confrontation. It was basically questioning them, but they are going to take it as confrontation. And I confronted them and I asked them the questions about child trafficking and human smuggling and the enormous unaccompanied minors that they are arriving. And there is their responsibility because they created the Globalist Compact of Immigration. So I asked them, what's up with the Globalist Compact of Immigration? Are you going to give me something? Are we going to tell me something about what is going on? But other than that, I will tell you what happened. I had a really important day. Today I visited one of the places that is really important for Mexicans. In Ciudad Juarez, there was a pope that his name was John Paul II. I grew up looking up at John Paul II. I grew up basically, John Paul II, for me, he was a good pope for me. Now, Pope Francis, that is right now in the seat as a pope, he's a globalist. He's a traitor, and I believe that he is full with evil. He's not for the holiness of the people. Pope II for me was a great figure, and I admire Pope II as I grew up as a young teenager, and also I admire John Paul II because he was a great humanitarian. And I went to this plaza where John Paul II was there, and this plaza was where he held a mass for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that they were there. And it was amazing to be there. It was really amazing to be at that position and to be at that particular place that is considered to be holy and that is considered to be beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful places. As you arrive to that place, I will get into the news, but I just wanted to explain that. I just wanted to explain that you feel a really strong energy. And I suffer from vertigo. I have this thing with vertigo. And when I approach statues or something like that, I get like, something happens inside of me. So it was really amazing to see that, picture of the Virgin Mary and the Holy Cross of our Lord Jesus Christ. It was amazing to see that place, be taking pictures, laying down, praying for a little bit, praying to stop child trafficking, praying for the enormous violence and delinquency that is occurring in our country of Mexico and also in the United States of America, praying to stop this racial division, to stop this racial war in the United States of America and in the world, and ultimately praying for God to come, man, for him to come. We need him. We need him in our homes. We need him in our cities. We need him in our communities. We need him in our countries. We need him everywhere. We need him. At the final of this program, I will put the images that I took in this holy place, and I would like to say some words to you know to the people that they're watching. How's everybody doing? Let's get right into the news, people. Wow. My partner, Real Anthony Agüero, has been reporting on the border of his city, that is El Paso. And the city that it's next to El Paso, it is Juarez, Juarez, Mexico. A city that has a lot of problems. It's Juarez, Mexico's number 2 for child trafficking, number 2 for killings of women. And I will check the statistics, but Juarez possibly right now is number 1 for child trafficking and unaccompanied minors that they have been arriving to the border of El Paso and Juarez. More than 5,700 unaccompanied minors arrived in the month of January, according to the stats that they were given by our partner and friend and brother, Real Anthony Agüero. And all these stats that he has been giving us, they're real, actual stats, and they're statistics, and they're actually factual, and they are confirmed. The most preoccupying thing is that about all of this, and I will get to my images and I will get to the video. The most preoccupying thing about all of this is that what is the United Nations doing? And it was so fortunate that you guys know how I am against the United Nations. And guess who came out when I was just doing a recorded video? 3 officials from the United Nations came out from the United States government. And there was mainstream media. All of them, they were there. Televisa, Univision, Telemundo, they were there. And I was right in the middle. And they were following them. And I said, who is that? And all of them, they started running towards them. So I started running towards them also. And unfortunately, my paisanos, my Mexican paisanos, one of them spoke English, but, a little bit. So I started questioning them in Spanish. And then I said, you know what? They speak English. They don't know how to speak Spanish, possibly. So I started saying, oh, you guys don't understand Spanish. You guys don't understand Spanish. So I will speak to you in English. So I started questioning these officials. What are you doing right now? Why are you convoking a reunion of migrants when you're not doing anything about it? Can you please answer me about the Globalist Compact of Immigration and the 34,000 kids that they have been trafficking the caravans? Can you please give me an explanation why 5,700 children have been arriving unaccompanied minors over here into the borders with your Globalist Compact of Immigration? And the response was silence. They gave their back. They started walking real fast to where their Uber was located. They hopped into their Uber and they went away. They don't answer those questions. As United States Congresswomen, they don't talk about the Globalist Compact of Immigration. They don't talk about what is happening in the borders. They don't talk about child trafficking. They think that it's non-existent. But we always confront, as we ask also Rashida to leave, that she came to Tijuana, and we ask him and we ask her, what are your thoughts on 34,000 children that they have been trafficking the caravans? Nobody answered. Crickets. And today, crickets again. And also, we had some interviews with migrants. The most amazing thing also is they have a humongous shelter of the LGBTTIQ organization in Juarez. It is a 4-story building where they are, people that they are from the community of LGBTTIQ. My God, it's too many letters. And we had an interview with one individual with that organization. And he gives us his point of view also. So it's going to be a good show. Don't go away. So let's get right into it. These are images that are brought to you by Oscar El Blue. Today, we were at this particular place. That is El Paso del Norte. That is El Puerto de Santa Fe. That is the Santa Fe Paso del Norte port of entry. My partner has been broadcasting from the other side of the border from El Paso, Texas, and he has been giving you guys awesome footage. This is how it looked today. And why today? Because the media got convoked and got asked to go today because they were going to start letting in people by the quantities of 25. Look at this. So it's not only now that Joe Biden has lied that he was going to let in 300 per day. They are letting in only in Juarez to El Paso only 25 people. From Juarez to El Paso, only 25 migrants. So he lied again to the migrant population that he was going to let them in by the quantities of 300. And here is our picture, some pictures of how it looked. And for everybody to just confirm, this is mainstream media right here on the left. It's media right here on the middle, and they had everything ready. They had like gallons for water and people to be attended. But migrants did not arrive. And why migrants did not arrive? They did not arrive because they know that it's a setup and it is a lie. Some of the migrants that I talked to, and they did not want it to be on camera. These migrants told me, Cuban migrants and also migrants from Haiti, they told me, Oscar or Blue, we don't want to be on, first of all, I don't want to be on camera. But second of all, I want to tell you what is going on over here. And they're lying to us. I don't know if they want us to leave Juarez and go to Tijuana, because we have heard and we have seen images that in Tijuana, they're giving them the asylum and they're letting them in by quantities, big quantities. And I said, yes, that's a reality. I'm from there. It's like, well, I think that we are going to move to Tijuana. So these people are hopping from every border to every border. And there were two specific migrants that they were telling me from Guatemala, and you were going to see them right here on the camera, which they were telling me, we're not going to wait. We're just going to jump tonight. We're just going to jump to the United States and we're going to jump the wall. So this is the image number one, which I'm providing for you guys. This is outside of the port of El Paso del Norte in Santa Fe in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. This is, as you see right there, it says International Port of Entry of Paso del Norte. This is another picture. If you guys see the cameras from mainstream media. This is another picture right here from how it looked that they were waiting. This is where the pedestrians go in right here, where the orange cones are located. This is where the pedestrian entrance is located. And this is another picture that I will put in. These are actual scattered migrants that they were. They were like probably like 30 migrants around, and they were like 50 of them walking around back and forth to see if there was going to be action. These are actually migrants from Haiti right here on the back. That you see 4 migrants right there with a lady that actually told me, we are confused. We don't know what is going on. We don't know what is happening. We don't know if we're going to get the asylum. We don't know if they're going to, ask us for paperwork. We don't know what kind of paperwork we need to present. We only know if we are MPPs, we need to present ourselves in here. So we don't know what is going to happen. It's amazing, the explanations that it kind of resembles to every border. Every border is exactly the same. This is the hallway to all the way to the back, that there is a place where they get copies for the paperwork. That is another location that is close to the port of entry of El Paso del Norte. This is the copy stand where you can see actually these 3 people right here, that they are lined up. There is a woman wearing a beanie and 2 gentlemen on the back. These are migrants from Cuba, and we were talking to them for a minute. And the problem was that they're scared. Probably the media has been really, offensive towards them. So it got me a little bit to work towards them, to start talking to them and tell them, man, you know what, I'm here just to know what is going on and to see how you guys been treated. And they started speaking up a little bit. And they said, like, man, it's horrible over here. It's horrible. We've been here for more than 1 year. The pandemic, slowed up the whole process of the MPP. But before that, it was horrible. And now we are getting this, hope that we are going to cross to the United States, but we don't know if actually it's going to happen. And they were saying Joe Biden is lying to us. And you're actually going to see an interview with a migrant from Cuba, for a migrant from Honduras. I'm sorry, apologize, for a migrant from Honduras, that she actually explains that says, yeah, he's lying. And this is another image right here. This is the street that connects to the port of entry. These are the migrants that they are in the, copy stand where they get the copies for their paperwork. You see actually a family of migrants right here on the left. And so migrants were coming back and forth on this particular day, and they were being conducted. They were being convoked for this day, and they were being asked to be gathered on this day to cross through the port of entry of Santa Fe. And this is another picture right here. This is where they started getting together. As you see, the majority of migrants right here are from Haiti, and you see migrants from Cuba. There are migrants scattered from Cuba. This guy right here in the middle was the guy that it was giving them the kind of like it was a guy that was helping them how the process should be done and how the process was going to be done. It's exactly what is happening in Tijuana, but right here is Juarez. You get another picture right here of them closely, of them, the migrants right here, waiting for a solution or waiting for some kind of answer from the government of the United States of America. This is the problem, and it's clear. And the problem is it's just so obvious. Who from the United Nations? This is why I confronted the United Nations. Who from the United Nations or who from the United States government has come out and said something to these people? Who is going to come out? Who's going to be the one that is responsible? Joe Biden opened his mouth and he said that he was going to let in by the quantities of 300. This is not happening. It has been a complete lie, and these people are being lied to, and it has not been. The asylum entrance has not been happening as they thought that it would. This is another image right here of the migrants waiting for their process, and this right here is another one of them, practically, waiting outside. These two gentlemen right here are the gentlemen from Guatemala that I was talking to you guys about. We had a conversation, and they were saying, you know what, the process is really difficult. If it continues to be this difficult, I am not going to wait. We're going to jump. This is another aerial picture for you guys. And then you go and see the shelter from the LGBTTIQ that is located in the city of Juarez, close to the port of entry of Santa Fe. It is just Tijuana 3.0. There are shelters that are close to the wall. There are shelters that are close to the ports of entry. Why the shelters are close to the ports of entry, where the Globalist Compact of Immigration says that they have to be 30 miles away from the perimeter of the border. But they continue to put shelters close to the border so people can have more accessibility to go and ask the governmental officials, ultimately, what is happening with their asylum and refugee case. So it's a 4-story high. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got the patio on the top. So it's five floors. My God. It's a big shelter. It's another picture right here of the shelter. And in this video, I basically, I talk about what is happening and how the things are happening right here. And after these couple videos of me walking around, I will eventually put, the videos where the confrontation or the questions started happening with the UN officials. This is me walking inside. This is me walking outside. This is before the live stream. So this is me basically saying what is happening over here and what's the situation in terms to, this morning, where migrants were being supposedly going to be let in to the United States of America. We'll press play in this video. We are seeing a line of people from Haiti, and we just talked to some migrants from Cuba, that they are on the uncertainty of what is going to happen right here in the port of entry of Santa Fe, Paso del Norte. As you see, there's a lot of movement. It's a consistent movement right here. It is really different than Tijuana, because in Tijuana they station and they camp out. Right here is real different. The difference right here is that they are consistently staying right here. They don't move. And, there are, waiting for some people or some reason, something that it can be done, and something that they can give them an answer. We see an activist right here. into this particular place. You see some activists, some migrants right here from Haiti. Also, you see some movement right here in the port of entry. You see right here. This is the actual situation right here at the border. So that is basically what happened in terms to when I just arrived. When I just arrived, that was the first impression that I took. And all of a sudden they had one individual coming out. And it was pretty clear that this was not going to go pretty. It was pretty clear that this was not going to turn out good. And this is what happened. These are 3 officials from the United Nations. These 3 individuals, this guy with the suitcase that you're going to see right now in a few seconds, you guys are going to see him on camera. And I will pause when I'm asking questions in Spanish. Clearly, the media from Juarez is really upset. The media from Juarez is really, really mad and upset because you take away their time. You say to them that you are going to create a gathering and you're going to let people into the United States of America, and then you lie. So the media from Televisa, Univision, y Telemundo, they were actually questioning the officials and saying, you need to give us a statement. You need to tell us what is going on. You need to tell us what is going to happen. You need to tell us something. And they walk away with no shame at all, not even looking at our faces, that we are Mexican citizens. We demand that you give us explanations, United Nations and ACNUR, the Commission of Refugees. We demand that you tell us what the hell is going on. You are in our country. We have more rights of explanation than you guys. It is your obligation to give us explanation of what is the situation and what is happening. And this, ultimately, everybody was upset. All the media was upset because they were just walking around not giving statements, and they walked away. This is the first video. As I walked over there and I started asking questions, and the first thing that I said, okay, they're not understanding, or they're playing dumb, that they don't want to answer because I'm speaking Spanish. So I will talk to them in English. I said. So this is the first video as they are coming out. This is another journalist right here on the right side, and it is a broadcaster for Televisa. And he said, look what he says. He said, we need a statement from you guys. We need something from you guys. Tell us something. What is going on? Tell us something. And then the video goes on. I say, lady, I'm coming from Tijuana, Baja California. The situation in Tijuana is aggravated. The situation in Tijuana is aggravated, and the situation in Tijuana is horrible. We got more than 500 migrants outside of a plaza camping out, waiting for you guys to give them solutions on the refugee and asylum cases, and also the solutions for the entrance to the United States. What is happening? This situation is aggravated, and most importantly, we need to know if one governmental official from the United States of America is going to give statements. Or if one of you is going to be explaining the situation in every border, or who's going to give statements. I don't know if one of you is going to give a statement. So this is the lady, the one that is, you see another journalist right here taking photographs. This is the lady with the pink cell phone. This lady, it is the one that is in charge of the United Nations and the Commission International of Refugees in this particular group. So these two other ones, these two other officials for this International Commission of Human Rights, they're following her to say, what are we going to do? We got the whole press behind us. So this is what happens. In Tijuana, Baja California, I say the situation is horrible.
And if you want me to speak in English, I will speak in English. The situation in
And I started speaking in English because they were playing like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand Spanish. So I said, if you want me to speak in English, I speak in English. Let me return back this so you can listen when I tell her, if you want me to speak in English, I'll speak in English to you.
English, I will speak in English. The situation in Tijuana is aggravated. More than 500 migrants are outside of the plaza waiting for the political asylum. So we are waiting for declarations and statements from the United States government. Which of the two ladies are glad to give us a statement. And we know that everybody has a humanitarian right, and we know that everybody has a right to migrate, but there needs to be an explanation for the situation of migrants right here in every port of entry.
No answer. Crickets. Still no answer. And still no answer. So this led me to understand that they don't want to talk. So I said, I need to be a little bit more persistent and ask them questions that they are going to basically remember when they go home. And I wanted to ask them these questions because this is the most important thing which I've been fighting for: the enormous child trafficking and the enormous human smuggling and unaccompanied minors. And this is video number 2, where I say to them, are you going to talk about the unaccompanied minors? Are you going to talk about the child trafficking? Are you going to talk about the 34,000 kids that they have been trafficked? Are you going to talk about the globalist compact of immigration? And they just turn their backs and they don't respond. That is actually who is in charge of this immigration of influx. These kind of people are the ones that they don't want to give explanations to our countrymen and to the citizens of Mexico. You are foreigners in a national country of Mexico. Why are you not giving statements to journalists that they have been waiting per hours for you to come out and explain the situation of what is happening in the borders? This is video number 2, and just listen to why I start asking and the questions that I start asking. This is the United Nations and the Commission International of Refugees in the city of Juarez, the border that is connected to El Paso, Texas, in the port of entry of Santa Fe. Saying Cynthia Garduño is the one that put this gathering for migrants. Where is she? And the other journalist that she's this guy right here. This guy, I love this guy. This guy that he's from Televisa, and we made a good friendship. He's saying, who's Cynthia Garduño? Because her explanation and her justification was, talk to Cynthia Garduño, that is supposedly the one in charge of this gathering of migrants. And he's asking, so who's Cynthia Garduño? You're from the United Nations. You're from the Commission of Refugees. Give us an answer. And then I go in.
Are you actually going to give a statement or tell them? Yeah, but we need an explanation of you're convoking people to come over here and give them the hope that they're going to have the political asylum. Can you give us an explanation about the globalist compact of immigration and the enormous child trafficking that is occurring in the caravans right now? Yes.
Crickets.
Can you actually talk about the unaccompanied children? They have been registered in El Paso, more than 5,700.
Crickets.
Wow, no statement about all of this.
That was it. Imagine that. Wow. Nobody give a statement. These are the officials that they're running the immigration situation in El Paso, Texas, and in Juarez. Simple questions, and they in the situations that they're hurting the border of El Paso with Juarez, the unaccompanied minors, more than 5,700 children have been registered in the border of El Paso, unaccompanied minors. I want an explanation for that. There was no statement. The trafficking of children, there was no statement. The globalist compact of immigration, there was no statement. Why don't you talk about it? Why don't you give a reason and an explanation to me, a Mexican citizen? Why? Why are these people from the United States of America, that they're citizens from the United States of America, in our country, not giving explanation to the state press, registered press, and also to citizens? Why they're not giving explanation? I will play again the video for you guys to understand where I started asking her questions. And I said before, seconds before this image, I said, are you going to give a statement or not? And this guy right here, this journalist from Televisa, he was really upset also. He's like, I'm right here. Why are you gathering people when you're not even going to give an explanation? This is the United Nations. This is what they do. This is what I've been saying. They don't help the migrants. Why are you saying that you're going to create a better pathway for migrants and you're going to help migrants when you are actually not even giving an explanation to what is happening, not even to press? So again, I will play the video for you guys to listen the questions that I ask her, and she completely just not listens to any of the questions that they are extremely serious questions. She did not listen to Televisa. She did not listen to Univision. She did not listen to Telemundo. She did not listen, and they did not listen to nobody.
Can you give us an explanation about the globalist compact of immigration and the enormous child trafficking that is occurring in the caravans right now? Yes.
No.
Can you actually talk about the unaccompanied children? They have been registered in El Paso, more than 5,700. Wow, no statement about all of this.
And that was it. Wow. I've done this not only right here and I've done this not only in Tijuana. I've done this in Guatemala. I have done this in Tapachula. I have done this at every part that I stand my ground. I always ask the United Nations about the enormous child trafficking that is occurring, and if they can explain to me the globalist compact of immigration, why it's not applicable to the law if they are trying to apply it into countries that they are foreign countries. And where is your explanation towards all of this? There's none. And after that, we had really important interviews. This is one migrant that she is from Honduras. And she basically explains right now, this is a migrant that is from Honduras, that she's been years in Juarez waiting for the political asylum. And she basically says it is a lie what Joe Biden has been saying. And I will translate because the interview, it is in Spanish.
Saludos, ¿qué tal amigos? Soy Oscar Blue para el programa de Border Network News y America's Voice News. Estamos en vivo aquí desde el Puente Santa Fe.
How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, America's Voice News. We are live right here from the Port of Entry of Santa Fe in Ciudad Juárez, México.
En Ciudad Juárez, transmitiendo para todos ustedes. Estamos aquí con una migrante de Honduras.
We are right here with a migrant from Honduras.
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene aquí ya en Ciudad Juárez?
2 años.
How much time you been here in Ciudad Juárez waiting for the political asylums? 2 years.
2 años. Esperando el trámite del asilo y el refugio político.
Así.
Waiting for the process of asylum and refugee. And she says yes.
¿Cuál es el proceso ahorita y cómo siente usted la situación en el puerto de entrada aquí?
What is the situation and what is the process and how do you feel about the situation right now in terms to migrating to the United States with this new administration?
Y en Ciudad Juárez.
No, pues la siento muy pesada porque no nos dejan, no nos dicen nada, pues.
I feel it really heavy because they're not telling us anything.
Las promesas de Joe Biden al decir que va a dejar entrar a 300 a partir de una fecha, él dijo la semana pasada, el viernes.
The promises of Joe Biden of letting in 300 migrants, from last Friday,
Y hasta ahorita, al parecer en Ciudad Juárez no se ha cumplido eso.
and until now in Ciudad Juárez, and where I'm standing, I told her I believe that Joe Biden has not complied with that promise,
Así es.
¿Cuál es su sentimiento acerca de eso?
and she says yes. And I ask, what is your feeling about that?
No, pues, no sé cómo decirlo.
Hay muchísima...
Desconcertado porque uno pues quiere pasar donde sus familiares.
We are, I don't know what to say. We are, we're lost, because we would just want to cross to see our family members.
¿Entiende? Aquí no tenemos a nadie.
La comunidad
We don't have nobody right here. We don't have nobody. And then I ask a question.
de centroamericanos en Ciudad Juárez es bastante grande, comunidad de cubanos es bastante grande.
Así es.
¿Ha visto usted mucha afluencia por aquí de todos? La desesperación ya se está llegando al momento, ¿no?
Así es.
The community of people from Central America in Ciudad Juárez, and also the community, the Cuban community, and the Haitian community, have you seen desperation now because there's no solutions with this Joe Biden policy?
Mucha desesperación para todos.
Yes, there's a lot of, we are really desperate for every single migrant. We're really desperate with the solution that he was going to put.
Para todos.
¿Qué papeles le están pidiendo
We are really desperate. Everybody's desperate.
ahorita para poder entrar? ¿Usted tiene
Which paperwork are they asking you to go in?
y al
Pues,
MPP
solo los MPP nos piden y la cita nomás.
y no les han...
Only the MPP and only the court date. This is important. Why I ask this question? Why I ask this question to what paperwork they've been asking for you to enter? And the question that I ask is because I want to know if the United States government on the port of entry of El Paso, they're asking for COVID tests. And listen to this. This means that the government of Mexico has not prepared the COVID test, and ultimately means that the United States of America, the government of El Paso, is not asking also for the COVID test. This is what I ask. What kind of paperwork they've been asking you on the port of entry? And she says, I've been the port of entry that I am, the port of entry that I am entering right now, that is Santa Fe. They only ask me for the MPP and the appointment. That's the only thing that they ask me. And I ask later, have they asked you for a COVID test?
¿No les han dicho nada sobre las restricciones de COVID también?
No.
Have they told you anything about restrictions of COVID? She says no.
Pues ahí dijeron que nos regresáramos y que esperáramos.
The only thing that they told us is return back and to wait.
Bueno, ahí lo tienen. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo.
And I said, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. This is people. The United Nations don't give explanations to this. The United Nations, as you said, as you just saw, I asked them about the enormous child trafficking. I asked them about the enormous human smuggling. I asked them about the 57 kids that they have arrived to the border of Juarez and El Paso, that they're unaccompanied minors. If they can give me an explanation, nobody said an explanation. And they're not giving explanations to this kind of migrants. That they are being waiting for 2 years. And they're waiting for an explanation. To know if they're going to be admitted to the United States or not. This is one of the interviews, and this is another interview that I had with a member of the LGTB LGBTTIQ community. This is an interview with a member from the LGBTTIQ community. This is particularly the shelter that I've shown you right now, all the way to the front. I've shown you a picture when I was starting the live broadcast that they had a shelter for the LGBTTIQ community. It is a 4-story building, and on top of the building, they have a patio. So this is a 2-minute interview, and I will translate what he says and his feeling with the new administration. He was really articulated. This is the only thing that I can tell you. Really articulated fella. But he's a member of this community, and it was really important for us to get the feeling from the community of the LGBTTIQ community. What is their explanation? What is their feeling? Man, I got that real quick, huh? So let me just put the video so you guys can listen to it.
Saludos, ¿qué tal? Soy Oscar Blue. Muy buenos días. Estamos aquí en vivo en el puerto de entrada de El Paso del Norte. Estamos con un migrante.
Exactly as always the same. I present myself. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice News. We are live from Santa Fe Port of Entry in JUAREZ in El Paso. We are right here with a migrant.
Joseph Alvarez.
I'm right here with the migrant. His name, what is your name? Joseph Alvarez, he says.
Joseph Alvarez. ¿Cuánto tiempo tienes aquí ya en Ciudad Juárez?
Pues tengo una semana de estar aquí, pero tengo 2 años de estar residiendo aquí en México.
I am 1 week that I just arrived to Ciudad Juárez. I asked, how much time have you been here? And he says, I've been 1 week only right here in Ciudad Juárez, but I've been a resident. I've been not a permanent resident, but I've been residing, or I've been living in Mexico in the part, I think that he says, Piedras Negras, Coahuila, or Reynosa, Ciudad Reynosa. That is, Ciudad Reynosa, it is the border that connects to Laredo, Texas. So he says he's been 2 years right here and a week in El Paso, a week in Juárez.
Pues esperando para ver si puedo optar para lo del asilo americano.
And I'm just waiting also for the political asylum.
¿Tu número de corte del MPP?
No, aún no. Entré por...
Do you have, a court appointment? Do you have the MPP? And he says, no, I entered.
Reynosa a entregarme a migración, pues solamente tomaron mis huellas y no me dieron ningún documento.
I entered through the port of entry of Reynosa, and the authorities from the United States. So he has already entered the port of entry of the United States to ask for the political asylum, and he's saying, I already entered to Reynosa. They took my fingerprints and documentation only, and they deported me back.
Me regresaron para atrás la frontera.
¿Cuál es su sentir ahorita en ese momento después de que Joe Biden pues dijo que iba a empezar a dejar entrar a cantidades de personas y hasta ahorita no se ha visto ningún movimiento?
What is your feeling right now to the administration of Joe Biden that he said that he was going to let in quantities, of 300 into the United States of America? And look what he says. It's really interesting what he says.
Pues a la vez son palabras de esperanza y de aliento porque nos llena de emoción en saber de que podemos pasar, pero también estamos con esa sensación y a la expectativa también de poder.
Well, to starters, it brings us hope. It brings us hope that there's hope for us to cross to the United States of America, and there's also a possibility. But also, we are under the expectation to see what is going to happen.
Presenciar el momento en lo que pueda aperturar el ingreso a suelo americano, porque es lo que más anhelamos.
And to also, to be persistent to cross to the United States of America, because that is our dream, to cross to the United States of America.
Y pues deseamos de todo corazón que sí se pueda cumplir lo que él prometió en su.
And we're wishing with all our hearts that Joe Biden complies to what he has said and what he made his promise to us.
Campaña y ahora como mandatario americano.
When he was before a vice president and now as president of the United States of America.
Muchísima gente, ¿no? Está aquí de Honduras, de Haití y de Cuba.
Sí.
La desesperación en algunos momentos se llega ya a ser un poquito ríspida, ¿verdad?
There's a lot of people. Same question that I asked the last migrant. I want to get their feeling. That's what I want to get and how they're acting. And he said, I asked the same question. The desperation atmosphere is you can feel it in terms to the migrants that they're from Cuba, they're from Haiti, they're from Central America. You can feel it. You can feel that, right?
Sí, exactamente. Sí. nos sentimos desesperados y tal vez porque estamos a o a la intemperie, podría decir, de a veces dormir en la calle.
And, yes, we're feeling really desperate. And we are right now. Look at this. This is why I confronted the United Nations. And this is the thing that upsets me, because why you're pulling people and why you're telling them that they have a big possibility of getting the political asylum, that the United States is open, and that everything is great to migrate through Mexico. And what he says right here is basically what we have been seeing is a movement of communism, people, for everybody to understand. These political globalist compacts of immigration is to bring more poverty and more necessity to a place that there's more necessity. So you built on one social class. It's a strategy from communism. And what he says right here is basically that sometimes they sleep on the streets, sometimes they don't know where they can sleep, and it is a desperation factor right now, and we are trying to find answers.
Estar bajo un albergue donde no brindan techo, a veces comida,
and to be underneath a shelter, and also sometimes they bring us food,
agua, una cama para dormir, pero también podemos decir de que no es para toda la vida.
And they have been treating us good, the shelters. They have been giving us food, a place to shower, but we know that it's not going to be for all our lives to be in a shelter.
Porque solo nos dan unos cuantos días y de ahí tenemos que ver cómo podemos hacer para poder solventar nuestras necesidades.
And the shelter only gives us a certain amount of days, and from there we need to understand and find out how do we go about this moment, because they don't just kick us out, but they tell us, do you have a particular range of days so you can stay right here in the shelter, and after that, God bless you, take care of yourself. This is another problem. Why is another problem, people? Because when you don't take care of these situations, violence starts to occur, and assaults start to occur. This is exactly what happened in Tapachula. In Tapachula, in Ciudad Hidalgo, that is the border that connects to Guatemala. 10 out of 10 crimes, 7 of them are from Central America. And why that happens is because Mexico is taking so many migrants, and they're not providing permits, they're not providing jobs, they're not providing anything. It is not Mexico's fault. It is just the globalist compact of immigration. But it brings more violence, it brings more delinquents, it brings more misorganization. It is not an organized migration globalist compact. This is the problem. The problem is the globalist compact of immigration. The United Nations, they are pushing this narrative. They're not helping nobody. They're not helping these migrants. They're not helping nobody. They bring poverty to more poverty, and they bring, that these people that they're migrating, and the necessity is so bad that, they don't have a job, they don't have a place to eat, they don't have nowhere to eat, they don't have nowhere to stay, that a lot of them commit, they start stealing, they start assaulting, they start doing all this kind of stuff because of necessities. You bring what I just told you, you bring more poverty to a poor nation. So you create one social class. And let's go ahead with the interview, and he continues to say this. What they have told you right now until this moment. They just convoke everybody. Was this a gathering for migrants?
Pues no, hasta ahorita solo siguen rumores de lo que vemos por las noticias y que nos dan aliento, palabras de aliento de.
Right now, no, it's just rumors, what we see in the news, and they just give us hope.
De poder decir que tal fecha, pues estamos aquí a la orilla de la frontera, pues.
And they just tell us that on one particular day we are right here in the end of the border.
Esperando porque dijeron que hoy iban a ingresar las personas que tienen su MPP.
And we are just waiting because today they told us that the MPPs that were going to go in, and that is a lie, people. You saw the United Nations that they did not answer no questions to no mainstream media, no independent media, and also the United Nations just ran out of the back door, and they just grabbed an Uber and goodbye.
Y que ya luego podíamos poder ingresar las personas que todavía no tenemos ese documento.
And they're saying that first the MPPs, and then later on, people are going to go in, people that they don't have the document of the MPP. That is that it is an assigned court date for everybody that is watching.
Que nos ampare del MPP. Y pues todos aquí, los que estamos de muchísimos países, hay venezolanos, cubanos, guatemaltecos, hondureños, nicaragüenses. Y pues todos estamos a la espera de.
And there's people from all over the world. There's Cubans, Honduras, Venezolanos, from Venezuela, from Nicaragua. We are all on the expectancy of what they are going to say and what they're going to do.
De esa promesa.
And, we are awaiting also for that promise of Joe Biden. And I say, thank you so much. Thank you. And that was the interview. Now, after you heard these interviews, let me bring you back another let me bring you back a video. Let us go back to this video because this is really important for everybody that is just watching. As you guys heard, and I just played this video 2 times. I played this video 2 times, and I will play it again for the last time. You just heard the the dreams, the false dreams, and the hopes of these people, and you just heard how they are sleeping in the streets and they are waiting for the promise of Joe Biden. Remember, the United Nations works under this globalist compacts of immigration and under leftist and under globalist agenda. People that have the narrative of the globalist agenda right now, one of them is Joe Biden. After you have heard these 3 migrants speak, I will put this video again for you guys to understand how the United Nations does not give an explanation to nobody about the situation of migrants and the child trafficking that is occurring. These are 3 officials, and one of them is the head chief of this ACNUR, the Commission International of Refugees, and she does not answer no question, no statement, no nothing. The other journalist is saying, why you're convoking people? Why you're telling them to come over here?
Are you actually going to give a statement or tell them? Yeah, but we need an explanation of why you're you're convoking people to come over here and give them the hope that they're going to have the political asylum. Can you give us an explanation about the globalist compact of immigration and the enormous child trafficking that is occurring in the caravans right now? Yes. Can you actually talk about the unaccompanied children? They have been registered in El Paso, more than 5,700. Wow, no statement about all of this.
After you've seen the videos that I just did, talking to migrants in the border of El Paso and Ciudad Juarez, you get to understand that they don't care. Or if they care, they're not going to do it right now. They're going to do it when they feel it and when they receive the order to say, we are going to give an explanation now. This is what is actually happening right now in the port of entry of Santa Fe in Ciudad Juarez, in the border that is connected to the city of El Paso, Texas. It is just amazing the irresponsibility of the United States government right now to not give statements and to not tell the migrant population what the hell is going on. That is exactly what is happening right now in Tijuana, where more than 500 migrants are sleeping outside of the Plaza of El Chaparral, that is the pedestrian port of entry to San Diego, California. And if you don't see no governmental official from the United States giving statements to the press, nobody giving statements to the Institute National of Immigration of Mexico, and nobody giving statements to the Grupo Beta, that is the organization that takes care of migrants in our city of Tijuana. It is amazing. It is amazing. And it is just unbelievable. One situation leads to another. And I don't know if United States citizens get this. There's poverty and there's homeless all over the world. We understand that. But we need to look forward of what this globalist agenda is doing. It's not about, we have also poverty over here, Oscar. We have also homeless over here, Oscar. We already know that. And my God, you already know that we have a lot of poverty in our country of Mexico and a lot of homeless people in our country of Mexico. It is what they are trying to do. Realize that. Please separate things and try to understand what they are trying to do. That is bring more poverty and more necessity into a country that is more necessity is communism. This is what I was saying to you guys back in 2018, that I was telling you there's a massive force that is coming to your country and they want to transform it into a communist country and take away the most capitalist country that exists in the world, that is the United States of America. And ultimately, this is the problem. This problem is created again. And we are seeing what happened in 2018, 2018, what happened in 2018 with the caravans and the immigration factor, we are just seeing a 3.0 right here. Again, happening all over again. It is amazing. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Borderland News and America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. This is our second report. We have more video, but I will edit that video. In these days, late at night, that we have been doing investigations and also investigations in Juarez. We have more edited video, and I will put it together later on. As the situation in Juarez gets, a little bit respite, as migrants are in the situation of necessity right now. Now, this provocation of opening the mouth and saying I will create a better pathway for migrants has also ultimately now created a chaos in a chaotic situation. Not too long ago, my partner, Real Anthony Agüero, published something on his page that it says more than 5,700 kids have been unaccompanied minors have been registered in the Department of Homeland Security and alone, El Paso alone, in the month of January, and more than 4,800 in the month of December of 2020. That question I asked to the United Nations lady and to the ACNUR, the Commission International of Refugees leader, that it was right there. And it is amazing that nobody gives a statement. Nobody gives a statement. Nobody says anything. Nobody conversates about anything. Nobody talks about anything. And nobody gives a statement about the unaccompanied minors that is happening in the city of El Paso and Juarez. And then you got all these leftists, all these organizations that they're saying we're separating families. They're separating families. But why you're not talking about the unaccompanied minors that they are arriving to the border? Why are you not talking about the 5,700 that they were right there on the month of January registered by the Department of Homeland Security? And you ask them this question, and you are, what the hell? Why nobody's answering these questions? You are the Commission of International Human Rights. You are the Commission of Refugees. You are the United Nations. You are the one that you're the one with the Globalist Compact of Immigration. What the hell's going on? Why nobody's answering these questions? And the situation is going to get critical right here in the city of Juarez, in Mexico. And it's going to get critical in the city of El Paso. It's amazing what is happening. It's amazing. As a Mexican citizen, I will tell you that this situation is going to get difficult by every day. Every day. Today, later on, changing a little bit the subject that we need. My God, people. This was one of the most, this day was, for me, it was, I can tell you that it was pretty amazing at a particular point of the day, which I will tell you why. And, this is a place where it is considered to be a holy place in Ciudad Juarez. I'm a Catholic. And, I saw a lot of Christians, they don't believe in the Virgin Mary. I understand that. It's freedom of faith. You believe in your faith. You believe in your religion. I believe in my religion. I don't criticize you, and I believe that, you don't criticize me. And we are not going to give lectures of the Bible right now. Please don't, because everybody has their own faith. But, today I visited a place where John Paul II, the Pope, God rest his soul, was a great Pope. And I remember when I was young, the Pope right now, Pope Francis, in this particular moment, Pope Francis is a globalist, and it is pure evil, what he's doing to the Catholic religion, and it is pure ultimate evil what he's doing. But remember John Paul II, when he came to Ciudad Juarez in Mexico, he went to a particular place where he held a mass, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It was all over the TV. And one day, my last trip of El Paso, I was asking Anthony, he told me, hey, you know what, that was the place where the Pope held the mass. And it was all full. It was all of it. Thousands and thousands of people were watching. And as I arrived, the a taxi driver. He told me, let me ask if we can enter. And, we registered as press and they said, yes, go ahead. Because they don't let nobody into that particular place if you're not authorized. There's also a police officer right there. And we entered and you can feel the energy. And, when you feel that energy, you realize that we are suffering right now. Not as a country, not as the country of the United States, my country, or Mexico, but we are suffering as humanity. We need God in our lives. We ultimately need God in our lives. We need faith again. Jesus is coming, man. Man, I've been saying this for the past probably a week or so. I've been feeling it, man. Jesus is coming. It is really close to our world, and we have so much evil, and humanity is so pulled away. And this is one of the pictures that I took. This is on the back. There's a beautiful ceramic table where the Pope was, John Paul II was, having his Mass celebration that day. And actually, when you're going up to this pedestal right here, to this podium, you feel an energy of, it's scary, because you feel that energy, strong energy, and it's a place that it has strong energy. And when you talk to the people from there that they take care of, and they are security of this particular place, they say to you, yes, that is a place that has a lot of energy. It's a holy place. The people, there's an old man right there. He's in his 70s. He's not old, he's young still, but he's an old man right there. That he was that I asked him, hey, the energy, man, the energy is really strong. And he started saying, yes, the energy is just strong. It's a holy place, Oscar. The Pope, gave the blessing, and we have tried to conserve it. And this is one of the pictures that I took right there. As I was going up, I was feeling the energy. This is another picture that I took in the podium where the Pope was given the Mass. And right here on the right, you see a gigantic painting of the Virgin Mary. And this picture explains how little I felt on her feet. I am a firm believer on the Virgin Mary of Guadalupe. La Virgen Santísima de Guadalupe es mi vida. Eres todo para mí, representas mi vida, representas todo, significas todo para mí, la Madre de Dios. The Virgin Mary of Guadalupe, and also my Lord Jesus Christ, but the Virgin Mary of Guadalupe is the mother of God, the mother of Jesus Christ, and you represent everything. And I'm here laying on your feet, asking you, please stop, help us with this enormous child trafficking, enormous human smuggling, and people that are trying to stop us from pursuing our jobs and from trying to achieve our jobs, to expose the enormous child trafficking and human smuggling that is occurring in the world, and to take away all this evil, and to stop the poverty, and to look for justice, for God's sake, and to bring God's justice into the world and to every home, and to bring justice into every family, to bring the moral values, the family values, the love for one another, to bring God values into our world. And this is, it's humongous. It's a humongous painting of the Virgin Mary. And, I kneel down, I pray, and I told the guy, can you take a picture of me? He said, yes. And, it was a beautiful moment that I wanted to share with you guys before I go away. And why I wanted to put these pictures in this live feed, because I want to tell you guys that everything that you guys have seen in this live feed with the migrants, love their neighbor. Love their neighbor is not love color, love border, love country, love flag. No, it's love one another. And we need to understand right now that this is a humanitarian crisis that is provoked by evil and demonic people. Let's fight this evil and demonic people. Not fight one another. Not criticize one another. Not stab one another on the back. We need to fight the evil and demonic globalists. That is the most important and the most important situation that we need to address. Fight all these elite. Fight all these organizations that they're taking away our freedoms and they're taking away our rights. And ultimately, respect law and order. Fight for your constitutional rights. Fight for your freedom. Fight for your country. Fight for your flag. But ultimately, fight for humanity. Fight for us. That's what we need to do. God bless you all. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero, at Orbis.net. Also, you can follow him at Parler, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and his channel and Telegram. You can follow me and my channel at YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. Like it and share. Also, you can follow me at Facebook as Oscar Blue. And also, I have a channel at Telegram if you'd like to join. Thank you so much. Follow our partner, also our colleague, Ben Berquam. Follow him at Frontline America with Ben Berquam. And also, you can follow Primetime Patriots with the lovely Sunni middle child, the intelligent Blake Biglia, and the beautiful Kelly Thompson. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always your country's first. God bless.